You walk in, there's a shredded pillow on the floor, and before you even say a word, your dog is already doing it. Head down, ears back, tail tucked, avoiding eye contact, maybe even slinking away like they know exactly what they did. Every dog owner has seen this look. We call it the guilty look. We posted online caption, "He knows what he did." But here's the question almost nobody asks. Is your dog actually feeling guilt? Or is something completely different going on inside that head? Scientists have actually tested this. They ran real experiments with real dogs, real owners, and a little bit of deception. And the results are going to change the way you see that look forever. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at the guilty face the same way again. In 2009, a researcher named Alexander Horowitz ran a now famous study designed to answer exactly this question. Here's how it worked. Owners were told to leave a room after telling their dog not to eat a treat. While they were gone, researchers sometimes let the dog eat the treat, and sometimes took the treat away themselves, without the dog touching it all. Then, owners came back into the room and were told whether their dog had misbehaved, except the information they were given was sometimes true and sometimes completely false. Here's the twist. Dogs displayed the classic guilty look, the lowered head, the tucked tail, the avoidance, based almost entirely on whether their owner scolded them, not on whether they had actually eaten the treat. Dogs were innocent, but scolded anyway, looked just as guilty as dogs who had actually broken the rule. Dogs who were guilty but never scolded often didn't show the look at all. Read that again. The guilty look wasn't connected to what the dog actually did. It was connected to how the owner reacted. Here's where the science gets even more interesting. True guilt, the emotion we experience as humans, requires something called complex or self-conscious cognition. To feel guilty, you have to be able to reflect on a past action, understand that it violated a rule you agreed to, and connect that violation to your own sense of right and wrong, all after fact, without anyone reminding you. Researchers who study animal cognition generally agree dogs experience primary emotions with total clarity: fear, joy, anger, excitement. Whether they experience secondary, self-reflective emotions like guilt, shame, or embarrassment is far more contested, and current evidence leans toward probably not, at least not in the complex way humans do. That doesn't mean dogs are simple. It means a guilty look is actually evidence of something arguably more impressive: an incredibly sophisticated ability to read human emotion and body language in real time, refined over thousands of years of living alongside us. So if it's not guilt, what actually sets this look off? Based on the research, it tends to come down to 3 specific triggers, and once you know them, you'll start noticing them everywhere. Trigger 1, your tone of voice. A sharper, sterner tone, even before you've said a single word about what happened, is often enough on its own to trigger the appeasement response. Trigger 2, your body language. Crossed arms, a stiff posture, hands on hips, direct prolonged eye contact. These all read as confrontational to a dog, regardless of context. Trigger 3, a break in routine. Dogs are creatures of pattern. Coming home to something out of place, a mess, an object moved, a different smell of the room, combined with your reaction, is often what triggers the response, not memory of the act itself. If you're the kind of person who wants to actually understand your dog instead of just reacting to them, go ahead and subscribe. We break down studies just like this one every week. Here's the part that actually matters for your day-to-day life with your dog. If the guilty look isn't guilt, then scolding a dog after the fact, pointing at the mess, using an angry tone minutes or hours later, doesn't teach your dog anything about the mess. It only teaches your dog that you, specifically in this moment, are a source of tension to appease. Dogs learn through immediate association. A correction has to happen within seconds of behavior to have any real chance of connecting to that behavior. A correction delivered after you walked in and discovered the damage is, from your dog's point of view, essentially random, which is exactly why trainers who work from the current science consistently recommend calm redirection in the moment, not after-the-fact scolding. So the next time you see that classic look, the tucked tail, the sideways glance, the slow slink away, you're not looking at confession. You're looking at your dog doing something dogs are remarkably good at, reading you and try and keep the peace. Let's bring it together. The famous study found dogs looked guilty based on whether they were scolded, not on whether they'd actually misbehaved. What looks like guilt is more likely an appeasement response, a submission signal aimed at defusing tension. True guilt requires a level of self-reflective cognition that current research doesn't clearly support in dogs. And the specific triggers, tone, body language, and disruptive routine, say more about the moment you walked in than anything your dog remembers doing. None of this makes your dog less emotionally intelligent. If anything, it makes them more impressive, a species that has spent thousands of years becoming fluent in reading exactly one thing: you. So next time you catch a guilty look, you'll know what's actually happening behind those eyes. Not a confession, not shame, just an incredibly perceptive animal, doing what dogs do best, watching you and responding to you in real time. If this changed the way you'll think about your dog's next guilty moment, let us know in the comments. And if you want more science-backed dog behavior breakdowns like this one, subscribe, because there's a lot more about what's actually going on in that head than most owners ever realize.